Welcome back, guys, to my pking series where we're pking bots and hopefully going to make some bank off of this one. Today we are going to be killing green dragon bots, both in the west and east, and also the middle wild. I think it's around 20 or 22 wild out there. I've noticed that there's a lot more bots out there. There's also a lot more people. As you can see, my current setup is kind of built for the west, but we're going to explain that in a little bit. So what I want to do is actually explain what to bring out there, where you're gonna go and what kind of setups will work out where you're gonna go, and then also show you some footage of how I kill some of these bots. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So we know we're going to be hunting bots, but let's talk about the locations of where we're going to be hunting these bots. So we have the West Dragons, the Graveyard Dragons is what I like to call them, and also the East Dragons. And typically with each of these dragons, you're going to see a little bit of a requirement difference between that. So let's kind of go over what those requirements are going to be. So I went ahead and combined West and Graveyard Dragon requirements into the same slide here because they both basically have the same requirements. That's going to be 85 magic because you're going to need teleblock, otherwise these guys are just going to escape right away. 75 plus range, the higher is better. You will want some sort of anti-dragon breath, either a potion or a shield, because you probably will get hit a few times by these dragons trying to find these guys. But the levels that you can find out there are usually between 60 and I would say 98, and anything higher than that is usually kind of uncommon because you'll see those guys more in the total skill worlds. Alright, so here we are at the East Dragons. These are everybody's favorite dragons to go kill bots at. Here our levels requirements are actually going to be a little bit less, coming in at 70 plus range. The higher is better, but that's where I'd say the bare minimum would be, and 75 magic. This is where I would say you need at least 75 to get some of those better holds, so I'd put it as more of a requirement than recommended. And then lastly is going to be, again, the anti-dragon breath, either a potion or a shield, because you probably at some point will take some damage from these green dragons. Maybe not while you're hitting the bots, but after you kill them, sometimes they do die in between all those dragons, so you're going to take a few hits. But let's say, what kind of bots are we going to be looking out for? Well, typically it's going to be between levels 75 and 115. These are probably the most common that I see out there. So as long as you can kind of hit those guys between, I would say, 20 and 24 wild, you should be set to go. Okay, so this is going to be our first setup that I'm going to cover. This setup is actually going to be a Tribrid setup. We're not only after just the bots, but also the pkers pking the bots as well. This is why I don't really recommend this for like mains or anything like that, but if you're a decent pker, this is a good setup to look at. We're going to have the Flames of Zamorak with a crossbow switch, and also have the DDS out that we can get a quick melee hit also. That's more for the pkers and not the bots. I like to just switch between magic and range for the bots. But let's see the other two setups that we'll be using. Alright, so this is going to be my second build that I'm going to show you guys. This is still using the standard spellbook. Typically this is going to be used for East Dragons because these bots are a little bit easier to kill and they're more frequent out there. So you can kind of see that I'm still bringing my looting bag. Those are very easy to get, so I have no problem with risking that at any time. But the one change is we're going to use a little less runes and also a burning amulet. But you will notice that I have a mud staff, and typically you don't have to use this. I do recommend some sort of staff to give you a magic bonus, but then you would need to bring mud runes as well, just to save space. But I mean, it's not really required. It's kind of up to you guys. I definitely recommend you kind of play with it and figure it out by yourselves, but you will see that I'm still bringing teleblock. This isn't a must over at East Dragons. You can typically kill these guys before they get over there, so you will need some sort of snare, entangle, even bind. I've seen people use that and actually get kills with it. It's a little tougher. I would recommend at least entangle or snare. I would say those are more of a requirement out there. But this is what the typical spellbook and everything and setup that I would bring out there is. Not all the time will I risk a mud battle staff, but typically it's a lot less risky, and I don't mind doing it just because pkers out there are a little less frequent. And if they are, you can usually either log out or most of them are just hunting bots themselves. So feel free to do that. But next I'm going to show you the last setup that we're going to be using. Okay, so this is going to be the last build that I show you guys, and this one's going to be utilizing the Ancients. The skill set for this one, or well, skill requirement, not skill set, I should say. Skill requirement is a little bit higher on this one, just because you do need to have the Ancient spellbook, but getting these bots down is a whole lot easier with the spellbook, let me tell you guys. One benefit of this is that we're going to be casting Ice Blitz. Feel free if you have Ice Burst. This does work with Ice Burst. I have tested it with all sorts of accounts. That one I am able to kill bots with. But Ice Blitz and Ice Burst both do damage while they do the freeze as well. So you're actually doing a little bit easier of a job because you're making the damage while you're switching into your range gear. You don't even need to switch to the range gear. You could honestly just do mage the whole time and probably be just fine, because most of these bots do not pray at all. If they do, they're probably not a bot. So typically they will run down to 20 wild and then they have a ring of dueling on that they teleport out with. So if you can sit up a little bit north and actually catch them and then maybe trick the bot into actually running with you or running at you with auto retaliate, because they do have that turned on, you can kind of get some easy kills out there. So this is the setup that I do recommend. It's the least risky, you don't have a whole lot of money invested in it, and it does the job very, very well. So let's get into how we're going to actually be killing these guys. So first we're going to take out this build and I'll show you guys how to kill some bots. Alright, so we're about to head out to go kill some bots here, guys, but first I did want to kind of show you something that I do bring. Some other people like to bring Ring of Recoil. I like to bring the Ring of Dueling just because I can get out of there and teleport pretty easily without having to use my Amulets of Glory. These are typically very cheap and you're going to get a lot of them from killing these bots. But teleporting to Clan Wars after you get a full inventory to reset your prayer and stamina is very, very nice. So what we're going to do is take a sip of our stamina potion. We're going to rub our burning amulet and actually go to the Chaos Temple. All you have to do is press 1-1. I'm going to be prepared to teleport right away. There's nobody here. Sometimes you'll get teams that like to just camp that spot and then they will TB you right away, but sometimes if you're ready you can just teleport back to Edge. So what we'll do is actually run over here real fast. I am just going to do my ranging potion now just because that way I don't have to worry about it later. As you can see, I have 101 range. I'm very excited about that, guys. I'm slowly closing in onto 90. I just cannot wait. But I like to start at the lower worlds. We can already see a 59 up here. We are going to go try to kill him. Oh, so he just attacked Dragon, so now we're going to have to wait a little bit. There is a 79, but it looks like he was ready for us. So it looks like he's our only target that we're going to have. I think he's going to be a little bit far for us to do range, so we're actually probably just going to cast Ice Blitz on him, but I will have it ready, and as soon as he's done killing this dragon, it's going to be game on, guys. Okay, so it looks like we have another 77 account that we could attack as well, so that's kind of a nice bonus. Oh, I almost forgot that we need to have our extended anti-fire potion on as well. If you guys have an anti-fire shield, feel free to use that as well. I like to bring the Book of Balance because that gives me magic bonus and range bonus, and then I don't have to switch out my book. It's just another annoying switch that I don't really want to deal with. So look at this, he's finally done. We're going to switch into our range gear. Hopefully this dragon does not kill us, and it looks like he was a real player, unfortunately, so it's not all bad. We have this 77 over here that we're just gonna wait for. So as soon as this guy is over here done killing this dragon, we're just gonna try for him. So not everybody is going to be a bot. I didn't think he was a bot just because of his cape. Most bots just bring like a 3-item switch. They'll have like dragon or rune with a dragon sword or a whip of some sort. So typically your levels are going to vary as well. I like to typically see a lot of like 60s to about 105s. It really just depends on how long the bot's been around. But we're just going to kill this bot real quick. I swapped a range so I don't have to use up all my magic. And then we're going to turn off prayer. And look at that, guys. Easy as that. We've got our first kill. And then we're just going to take all the dragon bones and the dragon hides. Alright, so we're going to teleport, or actually change worlds again. Okay, so this world looks like it's a pretty good one. We're just going to start off with this 80 right here. Swap to our range setup, turn on our prayer. Should be a simple just kill. And I did want to explain, you don't need to bring Dragonstone Bolty. I typically do just in case I run into pkers. That way I can kind of fight them off as well. Looks like this guy's going to run right at me. We're just going to freeze and hold him again. If we don't splash, alright, there we go. Now, I could just use magic on him, it'd probably be more efficient. And it looks like he's gonna bury bones, so he's gonna be a little punk. We're just gonna cast magic on him and just whoop his ass. Alright, that should hold him again. Man, these bots in their little prayer, they love to just bury those bones, and it's really annoying. So, there we go. We killed him off. He was annoying. But we got his loot, so we got green dragon hide. I'll take it. Honestly, it's free money. It looks like he didn't get all the bones buried, which is a good thing. And we got an adamant full helmet as well. So here's another ring of dueling. Games necklace as well. And since we are full right now, oh, we can actually loot this real quick. Gonna loot those bones and that hide. It looks like we can come back and actually kill that 87 out here. But we will just teleport to Clan Wars, and here we can just bank really quickly. We can also go recharge our prayer with the free portal if we need to, but it looks like we have a full inventory, which is really nice. So makes it simple, guys. Also beware, always watch your runes in case you do need more. Always watch the charges on your necklaces and rings as well. So I don't need as much food. We'll go probably one more time out there. So we're going to take a drink of our stamina pot. 1-1 real quick. And be prepared to teleport to edge if we need to. Nobody's pking out here. Great. We're just going to run right back. And this is how you can make really good money really quickly. As long as you have these burning amulets, some ancients or some sort of hold, it really doesn't matter. Honestly, you can hit these guys pretty well with range most of the time. I just bring, typically I bring just runite arrows, but a lot of times I like to bring the Dragonstones just in case those pkers are out there. So you just never know who you're going to run into out here. It is the wild for a reason, guys. But look, we got an 87. We're just going to, oh, well, damn. He was just a little bit quicker on that than I thought he was going to be. But honestly, you can see this guy has half health here. Should be an easy target here, unless he just got out here, which is sometimes the case. But we are just going to try to cast. Hopefully, sometimes it might splash, and he'll just actually run right towards us, but it looks like it actually hit. Now, if our range can hit through, come on range, you can do it. There's a nice hit. 25, one more. That should do it. 17. So hopefully he had a full load on him, and he did. So we're gonna just make sure to pick up the dragon bones first. Protect from melee so the dragon doesn't hurt us as much. My potion's still good, so you always want to make sure that your potion's active, or if you have a dragon breath shield, you're pretty good and you don't have to worry about that step. But always beware, you never know. Alright, here's another ring of dueling, another games necklace, another combat potion, and how much was that? That is a 38k, and since my looting bag is almost full, I don't really want to drop anything in my inventory, so we're just going to teleport back to Clan Wars, and probably just bank, and then run in the portal real quick and run out. So next I'm going to show you guys how to do this with the other setups, that way you guys know what you're doing each and every setup. Alright, so I'm just getting ready here. We're going to cast the Entangle, we're going to cast the TB, and we've got this guy basically. So, I'm just going to switch to range because I didn't bring any kind of magic attack, but he basically cannot go anywhere. I could also just switch back and entangle him again at any given time. I don't know where he's going to run. this guy cannot run anywhere. So it looks like the bot actually does try to go back down to 20 wild if he can, but it just sits there probably. And easy enough kill, guys. Look at that. So it looks like we got a full load here. 22 items, so we can just grab everything. I'm just gonna click on it. Most of the time I like to try to grab the dragon bones first, but since we're right here, it's just gonna be simpler just to grab everything. Okay, so we're off to West Dragons. This is gonna be the harder of the two. We will pot up with our stamina potion. I'm just gonna run over there just because it's so simple to run. We'll just cross over the wilderness ditch here, and then we'll just continue northwest up to the dragons. I'm gonna drink my extended fire potion just so I'm ready, just in case. You never know. They're cheap enough that you can actually take a sip every time you have to bank, and it typically will last you about the entire time that you're out here. Sometimes if you don't run into people, be wary. Watch that timer just to make sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and do a charge here too, because we never know when we're gonna get into a fight. Looks like there's someone out here already, and what level are they? A 111, so I'm not even gonna bother. Alright, we got a guy in full dragon over here. Hopefully we can... Let's see if we can hit anything on this guy here. I am just gonna go ahead and actually try to mage him down. Got a nice 30 here, and the 22, and we got him. So this is probably a real player. And what did we get? Anything good? Looks like he had a lot of dragon bones and a lot of dragon hides. So interesting. Alright, so I wanted to kind of show you guys what you can expect out here, PKing these guys. So typically your PKing range is going to go from about 10 to 12k to about 40k. Sometimes you get kind of lucky and you'll get like a guy upwards of 50 to 80k. The max I've really seen out there is about 100k, so don't expect like 500k kills unless you get really lucky and somehow kill a guy with his cannon before he gets it placed down. But honestly, for as quick as these are, you can make some really good money. Let's go ahead and actually look at how many. So we have about 186k in dragon bones and 132k in green dragon hides, so it's really not that bad. We've made pretty good profit off of that. Sometimes you'll get in soul dragon heads as well, which are worth about 8k a piece, so always be picking up all that stuff. As you guys can see here, you will stack up a good chunk of ring of duelings and also games necklaces if you're also picking those up, and also combat potions. Like I said, I like to use these for training, so that's why I picked them up as well. Okay, so to end the video here, I kind of wanted to explain and show you guys how much money I did make off of about 25 minutes of this, and this was actually swapping different specs to show you guys how to kill each type. But it looks like we got about almost 400k off of this. This will be kind of dependent on what your stats are. Unfortunately, I would say about 400k is probably the base minimum that you could expect to get. As long as you're running and finding bots that you can kill over at East Dragons, I would say is probably the most profitable. But if you have the higher stats, I would say upwards of about 700k is probably easily obtainable. I've seen some that if you do get a few of the normal players that aren't bots, you can actually get some pretty nice PKs out there. I've seen upwards of about 200k. Sometimes you'll get them with a piece of their cannon as they try to run away. I've seen it at all three dragon spots of them doing that. But as always, guys, I want to thank you for watching this video, and if you have any comments, feel free to comment down below. If you like this video, please throw us a like. This gets this video noticed a little bit better in the algorithm. But as always, have a good one, guys.